Defend yourself against DDoS attacks by hiding your true IP address with ExpressVPN, and visit my custom link expressvpn.com/ghilliemaster in the description to find out how you can get an extra 3 months free. Hey everyone, and welcome to my ultimate solo speedrun guide for the Oscar Guzman Flies Again missions in GTA Online. Using the strats that I show in this video, you will be able to easily complete the 60-minute challenge with tons of time to spare, and easily earn yourself about $800,000 in just 50 minutes. This is of course on the hard difficulties as well, which you can only unlock by completing the mission once on normal difficulty. Now before we begin, I want to go over some prerequisites that you'll need to have in order to do the speedrun effectively. The number one thing is a fast bike. Preferably the Hakuchu Drag with HSW because it's the fastest bike in the entire game. But if you don't have that, or you don't have HSW in general, if you're on last gen consoles, the Shinobi can work, or if you're on a really tight budget, the Baddie 801 maxed out can work for this as well. But obviously the best times will come from using the Hakuchu Drag. For weapons, preferably you're going to want the railgun. If you don't have one, then the homing launcher can work. The railgun is just a lot more effective for what we need to do though. You also need a heavy sniper or heavy sniper mark II, and if you want, you can use explosive rounds, but I don't, just because I find it very annoying to switch between explosive rounds and regular rounds whenever I want to do a speedrun in these missions. And last, for the weapons, you're going to need an FMJ heavy revolver. That's going to help out immensely. And for the final prerequisite, you're going to want to have a scuba suit outfit saved to one of your outfit slots to use in one of the missions. So make sure you do that before attempting this speedrun. Before you start the missions, make sure you have your bike called out in free mode to make calling it in for the missions faster, because you can just use the interaction menu if you do that. If not, you have to call a mechanic and do it through that menu. For the first mission, Up and Running, it's really annoying because it despawns your bike for this mission, so I just get on the bike they give you, and then call in my own Hakuchu Drag through the interaction menu. Now, instead of going up the mountain like the game says, we are going to just utilize the fastest objective skip of the entire run, and instead head up this hill and take out our sniper rifle, and you want to aim for the bases of the far right tower here, and then snipe them each a few times until it says it's fully destroyed. If you have E rounds here, it does make this part faster, but like I said, I just find it a pain to swap sniper rounds all the time, so regular rounds works just fine. You just have to shoot each of the bases a few times. When the tower is destroyed, hop back on your bike and switch to your FMJ heavy revolver, and now wait for the plane to come in. From here, all you have to do is shoot it with your FMJ revolver and catch the cargo as it falls. And you should only have to shoot it about 9 times for it to drop all of the cargo. And then once you collect all the cargo, you have to make a U-turn and head down the path that I take here. After the cutscene plays, don't worry about getting on your bike again. It'll spawn quite far away from you. Just get on the dirt bike and then leave the area, and you'll easily have that mission done in just a couple of minutes. The next mission is the Mogul prep, and this is probably the one that'll take you the longest, or maybe the second longest. But when it starts, hop in the plane and gain some altitude so you go faster on your flight to the enemy base.
This base of theirs. No record. Looks like they like a discreet operation, you know?
When you arrive at the base, I always just choose to land, but you can also parachute in instead if you'd like. The only people you need to kill here are the ones right next to the Mogul. Everyone else you could just ignore and just leave be, and just tank their gunfire by opening up your interaction menu and snacking while taking off. And since we're solo, we are only grabbing one Mogul here. We're not going to come back for the second one.
Eagles or something. Plus, the more we get, the more we sell when this is over. It's up to you. Go with your gun, huh? And meanwhile, this eagle's gonna crack up here. Aha! I see you on the radar. Yeah, the Everhard's getting ready to send backup. Watch your back.
For the Eberhard jets part, I have tried various different strategies like landing and trying to shoot them. That doesn't work that well because the jets are just programmed to run away from you if you try to land. I've tried dogfighting them and it's very inconsistent. Sometimes I've had good runs where I can take them out relatively quickly, but other times their AI just doesn't make them engage me properly, so it takes forever or I end up crashing into them because they go so slow. So unfortunately, I think the best way to do this mission is to just kite them back to Oscar Guzman and have him take them out with the homing launcher. And to get there the fastest, just gain some altitude and fly in a straight line. Don't worry about their missiles. As long as you spam flares, you shouldn't take any major damage. If you take one missile, it's not the end of the world. One missile is not going to kill you. And also, their missiles don't have great tracking to them, so it's highly unlikely that it even is going to hit you. Once the jets are destroyed though, it's just a matter of bombing each of the targets, which is pretty self-explanatory. And at the end of the mission, just text him to complete the mission, delivering only one Mogul.
Supply goes down. Show up, huh? Why don't we run? It's gonna be way boring. Man, I love that sound.
It probably goes without saying, but between each mission, set your spawn location to the Mackenzie Field Hangar and just find a new invite-only session to quickly teleport back there, because sometimes the missions will put you in the city, for example. The only time that counts for the 60-minute challenge is time you spend in the missions, so it doesn't really matter what you do here, but it still helps out in general, just having your spawn location ready to warp back for your own sake of time. For the Intel Prep mission, this is the one that you're going to want to put on your scuba suit ahead of time because you can't change the outfit mid-mission. This will save you some time later in the mission. The route you take in the first part isn't that important. You can choose to go off-road, but the Hakuchu drag is pretty bad over bumps as it's not a stunt bike, and you lose a lot of speed by not being on the road, so I find it's just easier to take the regular roads until you are forced off-road. For the drone part of this mission, it's really easy. The first one, we just enter through the hole in the roof and hover down to the hack. Then we turn around and head to the second floor of this same building and take the guy out in the way with the shock, or you can use the machine gun too, as for some reason it doesn't seem to break stealth. After the second one is hacked, we turn around and head up and out the holes in the roof that we entered from. Watch out for the drone here though, keep an eye on your minimap to avoid it. Usually you'll have to just stay to the left as it heads to the right side, because they're doing this so fast, so it's going to be in the very early positioning of its route. And for the third one, you don't even have to take out the guy guarding it, just go around him. And now for the final hack, head into the little window on the side of the building and go for the hack. Very simple. Once you're done with this one, you can instantly get off the drone and head back outside on your bike. We're going to get on the highway on the wrong side of the road to start off, and then switch over to the right side of the road at the first opportunity we get. And we're going to follow this road until the very end when we veer off right before the bridge next to our destination.
Okay, so I'm looking at Everhard's intel on this cargo. Looks like there were multiple packages in transport, but one had a kind of signal jammer specifically for the Titan. Man, if we could hook this thing up to our Mogul, that's the element of surprise we need. Hope you don't mind getting wet, huh? Heads up. Everhard is still scouting the area, making sure there are no survivors.
Since you have your scuba suit on already, all we have to do is floor it right past all of the guards here and park your bike in the grass. But make sure to change directions on your bike to point it in the right direction for a quick getaway once you come back here. The guards will still not be alerted here until you shoot the two by the docks, so kill them quickly and take the sea shark to head to the circle.
Hey, I hope you don't get seasick, huh? I get really seasick. That's why I fly planes. Okay, when you're in the water, search the seafloor for signs of the cargo.
Now this is what most people find to be the most frustrating part of the entire mission strand, but I'm here to make it easier for you guys. So the strat that I found works the best is heading to the far left side of the circle and heading down at that point to begin your search. The crates do have various spawn locations, but this path allows you to check all of the possible spawns in the fastest way. So we're going to head down this little hill first, and that's where we're going to find our first piece of cargo. Then we're going to head towards the crate, but veering more towards the right side to check the next spawn, which is where we find the next piece of cargo. Then go ahead and check the far crate on the same side where one usually spawns. After that, you can check the debris field where the two pipes are. That's a potential spawn point for a crate. Also, next to the tugboat, one can spawn, so you can check there as well. But a lot of the time, the cargo will be in the other crate on the other side of the circle. And I kind of went a little out of order here, so I edited it a little bit, but that's just the route you want to take to check all of the various spawns. And all you have to do is get close enough so that it appears on your minimap, and if nothing appears, then you know that it's not at that location. It is a bit RNG based. Sometimes you'll get all the best spawns and sometimes you won't, and it'll take a little longer, but rest assured it's still going to be the fastest way to do it. You're not going to be wandering around wondering where the last crate is. After collecting all of the crates, swim back up to where your sea shark was on the left side of the circle. Once you get up to the surface enough, it will appear on your minimap, and obviously avoid sharks along the way. Now we're going to try something that is also a bit RNG based, so depending on the timing of the waves, you can sometimes get enough speed to launch the sea shark high enough to where you can jump off of it and just walk up the cliff for the rest of the way. But if you happen to get a wave that's close enough to the shore to take all of your speed, then it just doesn't work. But I think it's still worth a try. If you fail, the worst that can happen is you'll just have to walk up the stairs instead. I would also suggest putting on armor for this part and having your snack menu open, because we're going to be tanking a lot of gunfire as we get to our bike. And the getaway here is the most important part though, because it's a carefully crafted route that takes you right to the airfield in less than a minute. Instead of taking the bridge, veer off onto the mountains to the right and then cut back once you get past the 2 trees there. And you want to aim for the right side of this blue pillar and to the left of the tree, and go right in between them and head into the irrigation tunnel. From there, go straight under the bridges until you get to the sharp right turn signified by the blue machinery here. Then get as much speed as you can and make sure you hit the jump right in the middle with the Kuchu drag and glide your way right to the airfield. This is a 40-second escape route from the moment you get on the bike to the airfield for the mission completion, and one that will take some practice but is worth it in the end. Moving on to the iron mule setup, this one requires you to plant 4 jammers and then destroy things until the iron mules come in. We're going to start off by getting in one of the dune buggies and then getting on our bike shortly after that. But instead of going directly to the location, we're going to head up to high ground and snipe the insurgent gunner from a distance because he will give you some problems when we're trying to plant the jammers. Also, make sure you have railgun ammo before going in here. The way we plant the jammers here is also very specific. Basically, we want to make sure the final jammer is at the one closest to the insurgent, and that will make a lot of sense in a second.
So I was looking at their catalog. You know, see something. Maybe what weapons we could use. You could seal it for when we hit the Titan. Noted.
Someone went down. Bridge. I don't think they're getting up.
Okay, jammers are primed.
The reason we want the final jammer to be here is because this area has a lot of explosive tanks and vehicles to destroy to get that bar up. So look for the green crates, the gas tanks, the jeeps. Destroying any of those things contributes to the bar going up. Only going for the helicopters here will make this part take forever. It's much faster if you just look for everything else to destroy along with the helicopters if you need them. When the iron mules come in, I like to take the one right here closest to the entrance. Sometimes the game will kick you out of the vehicle when you disable the jammer. I think that's just a little bug. But if you hop into the passenger seat first, that usually makes that not happen, I've noticed. But now the only thing left to do, now that you have the iron mule, is to deliver that helicopter to the airfield and text Oscar for the mission completion. And for our final prep mission, ammunition, this one is straightforward, so I'm just going to explain to you some mechanics while the footage plays out. So you have to grab the Titan ammo for the objective that's required, but you also have the option of grabbing heavy armor, Mogul upgrades, and a weapon crate that can give you an alternate loadout on the finale. You probably want to grab the Mogul upgrades and heavy armor. Mogul upgrades gives you an upgraded turret which will take down the Titan faster on the finale, which is obviously what we're going for. Speed above all else. And heavy armor also gives you more health on the finale, which increases your survivability, so I'd also recommend grabbing that. Now the thing is, you only ever have to grab them once in any given playthrough, and once you do, you'll have access to them on every playthrough you do in the future. Which is why in this mission, I only grabbed the ammo, because I know the game will give me the Mogul upgrades and armor already, because I grabbed them the first time that I played this mission. And it works the same for the other missions too, with the extra Mogul and extra iron mules, which also increase your profits at the end by like $50,000, so you get like 810 grand instead of 765,000. I don't know if it's intended to work this way. It doesn't seem like it would be, so they might patch this to where it doesn't do that. And if they do, that just means you'll have to grab the heavy armor and Mogul upgrades each time you do this mission, which will increase the time it takes by a little bit, but since the speedrun is already effective, it's not going to matter too much.
I'm the only one that finds this shit therapeutic. Whatever we take, we can use some. And sell whatever's left after we hit the Titan. More equipment means more pocket money, okay?
Now onto the finale. Before getting into the plane, make sure to grab the heavy armor and the homing rocket if you'd like. Now, I unfortunately could not really find any alternate way to take the Titan down while solo that makes the process any faster and less painful. I've tried using a vigilante, but its rockets do hardly any damage to it, to where it's not even worth it. So unfortunately, I think the best way to take down the Titan solo is just to shoot it with the upgraded Mogul turret for 3 minutes straight, which is very unfortunate. This is my least favorite part of the entire mission strand. I think it's just too much shooting as a solo player. I understand wanting to incentivize doing the job with other players that would make this faster, but I feel like there should be some scaling so the Titan is tougher when there's more people on the job and weaker if you're doing it solo, at least a little bit. In any case though, you can just ignore the planes and the submarine rockets attacking you. Don't even bother taking your attention off the Titan, just keep on shooting it until it reaches red health. Once it does cross that red health threshold, a cutscene will play and you'll follow the Titan until it makes an emergency landing. Now don't jump out right away here, instead shoot the 2 helicopters and blow them up before you jump out. It'll make this part a lot easier.
Radio's going off. These guys are gonna throw everything they got at you. Now's your chance. Parachute down and get ready for a fight, okay? Okay, we grounded and tied up, but now you gotta take control and get it back in the air. You know, some
The heavy armor will carry you through this part a good amount. You'll notice when you use snacks here, they seem to heal you for much less than they normally would. That's just because your health is vastly increased while wearing that heavy armor, so it looks like the snacks just do less, but really just have a way bigger health bar. And because you have the heavy armor, you can just repair the engine while under gunfire without worrying about dying here. Although if you do feel like you're getting overrun, just back out, eat some snacks, and keep on going.
quick, carry out the repairs, and if more come, take them out.
Someone kill this thing!
Hell yeah, man! Time for the big guns, huh? Stand by for the ammo drop.
When the Titan ammo gets dropped in, it doesn't matter where you are, it's always going to put you kind of far away from the ammo, so quickly run in and stock up the Titan. The heavy armor should allow you to place all the ammunition all in one go.
I'm gonna put this asshole down!
And then if you want to be super safe, just have your snack menu open while you're getting into plane so you can snack up if you need to while you're taking off.
Time to get in the air and hit every heart with everything you got. Okay, looks like a tight takeoff, but you know safety drills, right? Good luck. Keep it chill, my friend.
Which just leaves us with the gunship segment. So just line up the targets so they're in line of the guns on the left side of the aircraft, then go into autopilot and gun them down, and make sure to reload before exiting autopilot so you always have 5 shots for the next portion. That's very important. The submarine part requires some finesse. You want to position yourself and go slow enough so that you land all 5 shots, reload, and land a 6th shot all in one pass. Otherwise, you'll have to come back around to destroy it, which is kind of annoying. The Titan can take a beating here too, so don't even worry about the rockets or pyros shooting at you. They're not going to kill you.
There goes another investor, huh?
And for the train portion, this one is pretty simple because it's also moving. So just line it up on the left side again like you would, and make sure to shoot the train engine itself last, otherwise it'll stop moving, which you don't want until the very end after you destroy everything. After the first 5 shots, exit autopilot and readjust your pathing before going back in and finishing the job so you don't crash. And that's basically mission complete once the train is destroyed. Now you just gotta fly back to Mackenzie Airfield one more time, and after that, it enters the cutscene and concludes the missions and the speedrun. And from the moment I started the first mission up until the start of the final cutscene, I clocked in at around 52 minutes, and that includes the time I spent in free mode. So it's safe to say you can easily get these missions done in 45 minutes time if you're only counting the time spent in the missions. which is 15 minutes faster than what you need to do for the 60-minute challenge, so mistakes along the way can even be made to get it done as well. But this speedrun guide is a long-lasting one that you can just come back to if you want a fast way to grind some cash, because between this speedrun and the Cluckenbell Farm raid speedrun, if you keep doing them back-to-back, alternating their cooldowns, well then you can make some very good cash that almost resembles old-school Kaya Perico, just not quite as lucrative in terms of money per hour. Overall though, the speedrun isn't too bad except for, like I said, shooting the Titan for 3 minutes straight. That's just not fun. It makes my finger hurt like every time, holding down the shoot button for 3 minutes straight. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA Online content, and let me know if you have any strats that I didn't mention here as well that can improve the run even further. I also want to give a huge shout out to all of my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.